Thanks, Greg. And hello, everyone. What if on the day you were born and the day you found out why were actually the same day? What if on the day you were born and the day you found out why, like your purpose in life, were actually the same day? Kind of cool. That's the day that your soul's code gets activated. We're going to learn a little bit more about the soul's code, and I'll give you some simple practices to retrieve that code and really live as a soulful leader with soulful leadership. Right? But we need that soul activated. Okay? Soulful meaning like the full expression of your feelings. You know when you eat soul food, like it's so amazing. Or think about, even close your eyes for a second and access your favorite soul music, like your favorite soul artist. And where does that feeling reside in you? It's in your soul, right? And it's probably in your body, maybe more in your heart and your gut. That's what we're talking about. We need to access soul level leadership. So why soulful leadership? There's lots of different leadership models out there, but I'm on board with what Doug's talking about, like right now is the time. And actually many indigenous prophecies speak of this exceptional time that we are living in as a time for great transformation. So it is ripe for reinventing humanity. And we need soulful leaders. We need you. We need your soul's code, which in that code holds all of your deepest desires, all of your core values, the things that matter most to you, being ethical, showing up with integrity, compassion, empathy, love, heart, courage, trust, respect. I'm working with a really soulful leader right now at this time, because in this time of great transformation, lots of systems are breaking down, and they are calling for us to come to them with sustainable and new solutions. And he is leading a huge governmental transformation. And what he's doing is powering it with soul. That's the marketing message. And part of that soul is trust. So that's what we're getting underneath, is where is the trust broken in this huge governmental system? So soulful leadership, that's what we need to call upon. So let's go back to this soul's code and unpack this a little bit. So the day you were born and the day you find out why are actually the same day, right? So your soul, you come into the world, and you come in with an accompanying companion that remembers your calling. That companion remembers your calling, and that calling, your life's purpose for being here, actually then gets stored in your code. So here's your soul, here's your code. That's your soul's code, okay? And it gets activated on day one. Day you were born, day you found out why, same day. Now this companion that comes in with you, Plato, the insightful Greek philosopher, calls our daimon, D-A-I-M-O-N. Okay, so track with me here for a second, right? Day we're born, day we find out why, we got our daemon, we got our soul's code, it's all activated, know our life's purpose. Should be all good, right? So, not quite. So what happens? This is where I got really interested in this many, many years ago. We get in the way, right? We intentionally block the daemon from unfolding and from aligning with it. We intermittently miss it. We make different choices, right? Different decisions along the way. And then we consciously actually postpone the daemon. Remember, the daemon is our companion, holds our calling, our soul's code. Yeah, we consciously postpone it sometimes. But here's the deal. Your daemon is relentless. It is going to find you. That's its job. It's your companion on day one. So it's going to find you. It holds your calling. It will track you down and claim its calling. So again, as I got interested in this, I read a book called The Soul's Code. James Hillman is the author, and in the book, Hillman invites us to remember our calling, find our soul's code. And in order to do that, he also talks about we need to understand what our soul is. Huh? So your soul places in your body the understanding of your desires, your values. And think about that for a minute. Remember when you activated that soul music, right? It's living right here. That's your soul. So what are your desires? Jot some down right now. What is it that you want? Not what you don't want. What do you want? What are your deepest desires? And try to keep these in the guardrails of what you can control. So things like your health and your happiness and your livelihood. And then the other stuff that gets stored in the soul's code are your core values. And this is what we're talking about when we're reinventing humanity. No small task here, souls, soulful leaders. Like, you got to come to it with your core values: integrity, compassion, empathy, love, trust, right? Powered by soul. We got to rebuild trust. We got to figure out what it is. Got to respect each other. Yeah. So another example of a soulful leader that I'm working with is, he's on a leadership team. His name is Sam. So Sam missed his numbers big time recently, and it led to the layoff of 30 people. So Sam could have done the self-preservation road, right, and like done the company-wide email and done a little bit of a mea culpa. But Sam decided to ask his team for forgiveness. And he said, I will only accept your forgiveness if you accept my resignation. There's a soulful leader. That's soulful leadership, right? Sam retrieved a piece of his code that day. Yeah, he showed up because he cares about being accountable and doing ownership. Now, I'd like to share a really brief personal story with you as I retrieve some of my soul's code. After I read the soul's code, I took a trip to Peru, and I studied with some Incan medicine women who did the main ceremony and practice, and rituals were soul retrieval rituals. And sitting around the campfire one night, talking with one of the medicine women who I had grown so fond of, after all this work that we did, I asked her, okay, I think I'm getting my calling, I'm remembering it, my daemon's alive, I think I know what pieces and parts of my soul have been retrieved through this work. So now what do I do? What do I do? And she looked at me and said, pay attention. Pay attention. And just be. And man, did that ever sit in my soul's code and still is so resonant today. So let's get to those simple practices now. So the first soul retrieval for you, soul retrieval number 1, is actually from Hillman's book, The Soul's Code. This is a vital question that I so love. What is it in your heart and soul that you must do, be, and have, and why? What is it in your heart and soul that you must do, be, and have, and why? Okay, that's your first soul retrieval. Soul retrieval number 2 is actually, we are going to map this to the acronym SOUL, so it's easy to remember and that it can be a really great practice for you. This is a daily practice. I do. It takes about 39 seconds every morning. I wake up and I say, good morning, soul, and I run through this practice. So this is for soul retrieval number 2. So the S is for summon. Summon your will to meet every single precious moment of the day with potency and act according to your deepest held values and line up your behaviors to those values, kind of like what Sam did. The O is for being open. Be open to sealing the cracks in the code. There's cracks in the soul's code. Yeah. Remember when I was talking about when you come into the world, day you're born, day you find out why. Here's your soul, here's your code, it gets activated. Well, some of the things that we do, like we intermittently miss it, we postpone it, we don't align with our daemon, it starts to crack open. And we want to seal those cracks in the code with love, lots of love. I have found that most of those cracks in my code are some of the things that Doug talked about too, like limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of financial freedom. All that stuff that runs around, those are cracks in the code. Let's seal them up with love. The U is for unique. This is the just be. Like there's just you. There's only you. Just be you. Right? That's what the Incan medicine woman said to me. Right? There is only one you. You're a snowflake, right? And by the way, as we're reinventing humanity, we need all of us soulful leaders to be online. The L is for listen. So remember, the code is calling. It's installed there. And it's up to us to listen to it. It's on 24/7. So, and listen with curiosity and wonder. That's the pay attention. And then because today a leadership development day, so many soulful leaders that I know, they really desire to be in service. They bring about service consciousness. So let's be in service. Right? That's what the S is. So we're making the SOUL acronym plural today. And service with unconditional love. Unconditional love that serves and transcends regardless of circumstances. So soul, or today, souls. So summon your will every day. Meet these precious moments and make sure you're living your values and lining up those behaviors to the values, right? Be open to sealing the cracks in the code. You're unique, it's just you. You're a snowflake. Listen with curiosity and wonder and be in service. So many, again, indigenous prophecies speak of this exceptional time that we're living in as this time of great transformation. We really need to step into it. It's time to reinvent humanity, reinvent a lot of these systems. The Incan medicine women from Peru call this time a Pachacuti, A Pachacuti is a chaotic time. The world is out of kilter. And it's part of our job now to restore it, to balance, and to some serenity. And I believe that as soulful leaders, leading in a new leadership model of soulful leadership, that we can truly transform the world if we choose to see each other as souls with unique souls codes, unique callings. That is so important for all of us to show up to the world in. So, what if the day you were born and the day you found out why were actually the same day? Yeah. So remember, your soul loves you. So love your soul. Thank you.
Lois, you gave us so much to think about this morning, and I just want you to share one more thing with us, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
to the young leaders, the young hearts
Yeah.
that have not lived the years you and I have, for instance. What say you to them? What say you to the young men and women out there who really are confused as to how they should really step forward into their soul and lead? What say you to them?
Just be, right? And listen for the times when, part of when your daemon is there and your soul comes online are these times when you're in flow, right? And when you're in the zone. So for young people who sometimes a lot of external stuff coming at them of things that they should be, or part of what I retrieved as my soul's code in Peru was this pleasing thing I had going on, like being something that I'm not.
Right.
So no, and the time right now feels urgent to us, may not to some of the young ones right now, but man, do we ever need them, right, to come on now. So just be yourself. That you are unique, you are a snowflake, and we need all those great talents and gifts. And so really listen to when you're in the groove and you are you, and do more of that.
Yes, I heard you say unique a few times. It's obviously on your acronym.
Yeah.
And I also heard your brother Doug say be authentic.
Yeah.
And I want to remind those young leaders that are listening to us today is, again, be yourself, be authentic. And I love your word, listen. You'll hear that a lot today. So again, thank you very much for your time today. Ladies and gentlemen, Lois Todd.